once you take this and the damage is done, there's nothing you can do about it. I've spent 13 years trying to find a way out of this, as have many people. Okay, when I was 15 years old, back in 2005 for the record, I took Accutane because I had quite bad acne. Not the worst, but definitely enough to affect my self-esteem. I had it on my face, my back, and my chest, which was lovely, you know, especially when people would call me pizza face. So inevitably, I ended up going down the doctor route because that's what people do. I tried antibiotics, I tried different face creams and, you know, what's that benzoyl peroxide stuff that like bleaches your pillows? I tried all of that. Nothing worked. I didn't try diet. For some people, dairy and maybe wheat can be a trigger for skin conditions. Maybe that would have helped me. I'd like to think not, because damn, that would have been an easier ride. But anyway, I took Accutane. I had to go to the dermatology wing of the hospital to be prescribed it. They had to look at me half naked to examine me because I think it's in some countries like they don't treat it so seriously, but it is a very serious drug. Hence why they don't just give it to you behind the boots counter, the pharmacy, or your doctor doesn't just give it to you at the surgery or local surgery. You have to go to the hospital. But I didn't think about that at the time. All I could think about was how bad my skin was. I had no other issue in my life at that time to worry about, so acne was my main focus. And it was bad. I would argue that many people in my position would not have been able to just ignore it or pretend it wasn't there. Particularly when you're a teenager and, you know, people are starting to become more self-aware and judgmental at that kind of age. Anyway, I got prescribed the drug, which I was happy about at the time. In retrospect, I wish they hadn't have given it to me. I wish they'd have gone, your acne is not bad enough, we're not going to give you this. Then what happened, I had to sign a waiver form, which again, I didn't understand the meaning of that. A waiver form basically means, if this all goes tits up, you can't sue anybody. And I'm not the kind of person to sue people for the sake of it. I mean, honestly, people like me should be able to sue, but that's not why I'm making this video. That's just a point, okay? They basically said, here's some side effects you can get. Common, dry skin, some people get dry eyes, which doesn't sound like a big deal. Oh, my eyes will get a bit dry. Yeah, compared to acne, that would be a walk in the park. I'll talk about the dry eyes in a sec. Dry lips, nosebleed, you know, little things. Pretty rare, most of the side effects, and some of the more serious side effects, and I can't remember what they said those side effects were, but they didn't include many of the actual ones that I know about now. They happen in about 1 in 100,000 people, based on what's reported, apparently. Which, honestly, maybe I'm unlucky, but I'm not that unlucky. 1 in 100,000. I like those odds. I'll chance it. I'll put my house up for a Freddo bar. If it's 1 in 100,000 chance of winning the Freddo bar, I'm going to win the Freddo bar. And the reason I really don't believe is not just because of my subjective experience. The fact I got so many of the very rare side effects, as do a lot of other people. I want to be clear that some people can take this drug and seemingly walk away from it unscathed or without the long-term damage, but there's no way of knowing if that's going to happen. And it's very well observed that with this drug, some people take it and get a few of the like minor side effects. Dry skin, everyone's going to get that. Dry lips. And then weeks after stopping treatment, it's as if an explosion goes off in their body and it collapses and they get all the very well-known side effects like severe dry eyes, severe digestive issues, suicidal thoughts, mental cognition problems, not being able to think clearly. I've been trying to film this video for weeks, by the way, but most of the time I live in this complete crazy haze, as if I've been off to war and traumatized and just placed in an office and nothing makes sense because all my friends are dead. I saw them all die. I'm trying to think of a metaphor. That's the closest I can come up with. It feels like your brain is destroyed. I think in 2 parts you get the depression and suicidal thoughts. 1, this drug is extremely toxic, especially for those who are sensitive to it like me. And so by default, you're going to get cognitive issues. You can't really separate the body and the mind or the brain. The brain is a physical organ like the heart, the lungs. And so it can be damaged by this drug. But on a mental or emotional level, dealing with the long-term side effects, they are so severe, difficult to ignore, that depression and suicidal thoughts are just a given. And many people have taken their life because of this drug. And when that happens, the creators of the drug, who make billions of pounds or dollars if you prefer that currency, all they have to say is, well, yeah, I know, but nothing's proved that our drug does this. Because studies are expensive and no one's putting the money in to bother looking. And, many people get depressed with acne. Yeah, but your drug does work for acne most of the time. It clears up skin, and those people are killing themselves after their skin is clear. Some of them leave suicide notes that say your drug ruined them, but no, there's no chance of that. That wouldn't be good for sales, would it? I should mention as well, to try and get my point here, because it's very obvious to me and those that have been affected that this drug is poison, but for you, who's maybe researching the drug, thinking about taking it, you don't know if I'm just a crazy hypochondriac. And all these other people say it's fine, so maybe you should just take a gamble on it, right? Remember that this drug, you cannot get pregnant if you're a girl on this drug, because it will deform the fetus. That's severe, right? You don't get that with most drugs. So what does that mean? It means that this drug does damage to the inside of your body, which would explain the varying levels of side effects. They will tell you, Roche, who made the drug, lovely guys, they will tell you they don't know how the drug works. The mechanism is unknown, which is very reassuring. We're just giving this drug out to teenagers who have their whole lives ahead of them, no idea what it can do. It might kill everyone. Fuck it. Billions. I understand it was created as a cancer drug, chemotherapy, and was given to cancer patients. Some of them had acne, and their skin gradually cleared up, and they realized, well, that doesn't really happen most of the time, so it's going to be the Accutane. Did some more studies on it that proved it was safe. The FDA said, yeah, we think it's safe because we make money off of your sales too. Pushed out into the market, and now, of course, it's known as an acne drug. People are meant to get monthly blood tests while on the medication because it's linked to severe liver damage. I can't drink anymore. I get very ill. Blood tests apparently show my liver's okay, though. Many people end up a complete mess as a result of this drug, go to doctors, get some routine blood tests that are meant to reveal everything about health but don't, told everything's in range, you're normal, and these same people who were perfectly fine before go back to their family and say, they're telling me that there's nothing wrong with me. They're saying the blood tests are normal. I know I'm not normal, Mum. I'm falling apart. All this stuff is happening to me. And the parents just think, or most of the time, my kids just lost it, they're fucking crazy. Like, the blood test would work. These kind of side effects are so rare and fucking twisted that people don't know. And people assume an acne drug. Acne is not serious, therefore an acne medication will just be some little minor thing. But it's not. I don't know what more to say. I could go on forever. I'm going to link my friend Tom's channel below, Life After Accutane. He's recently started interviewing some other people, including me. I did the first one about the risks of Accutane. Quite long interviews, but they'll give you a very in-depth look at what can happen. A recent one from Rachel talks about how her spine has basically degraded entirely. The discs in her spine are that of a 80-year-old, I believe she said, confirmed with an MRI. She lives in constant pain. I don't actually have pain. I can get it if I exercise more than walking. I'm basically physically disabled in that sense, like chronically fatigued, dizzy. There's no point me trying to exercise hard because my body can't do it anymore. Yeah, I don't have those side effects. I have many others. Like I say, the chronic fatigue, severe dry eyes where I can't even open my eyes in the morning. I have to pull them apart. Throughout the day, I use eye drops, but they don't work because the drug doesn't just target acne. It doesn't just go, oh, we'll stop the sebum production, which is what the dermatologists, who are clueless, by the way, will tell you. Oh, it just targets the sebum production and stops that. Therefore, acne, the bacteria in acne can't spread. Which is kind of true, but they say it as if that's how the drug works, like it was designed and it's flawless. It affects all the oil production in your body. Your mucous membranes, your eyelids, your mouth, your intestinal system can be completely dried out. I have a lot of digestive issues now. Nothing works. Oh, try drinking more water and having fibre. That'll relieve your chronic constipation that does not go away ever, and you can adjust diets. Doesn't help. None of it works, man. Once you've been, and I don't want to trigger anyone, but I will by saying this, anyone who's taken this medication, Once you take this and the damage is done, there's nothing you can do about it. I've spent 13 years trying to find a way out of this, as have many people. I did a forum post once in 2011 that now has about 2.5 million views, thousands of pages of people trying to figure out a solution. No one's done it, because you can't. The best people manage now is to go on a gluten-free, dairy-free, egg-free diet where they basically eat nothing, so that they don't trigger autoimmune issues because their intestinal lining is not there anymore. Rachel, who I mentioned a minute ago, doesn't have the digestive issues. But once you get any of these long-term side effects, one of them alone, like that alone, the pain or the digestive issues or the severe dry eyes, can ruin your life way more than acne, because you know there's no hope. You know there's nothing you can do with acne. There's options. There are endless options. Try them all, and if you still want to take Accutane despite knowing the risks, that's up to you. But I just wanted to make this video because I know what can happen. I would want someone to have made this video before I took it, and if I'd have watched it, hopefully I would have listened, but it's too late for me now. It's too late for many people, and for anyone else who's been affected by this drug, please consider doing an interview with Tom. He's a lovely guy, and just tell your story. Because right now, there's a massive imbalance, just like the underreporting of the side effects, that makes people think the risk is low. There's just a few people saying it fucked their life up entirely, but all these other people, their skin clears up. And some of these people, with their skin clearing up, when they vlog the progress, as they do on YouTube, they don't realise that they are at risk for collapsing. Like I think I said earlier, or it might have been in a previous take, you can take this drug, and then a few weeks after you stop, or a bit longer, that's when your body just collapses. Probably due to some kind of weird toxicity and a delayed effect, your body trying to deal with the toxicity, but it can't. But yeah, do your own research if you need to. Do not take this drug. The drug should be fucking banned. I hate the people that made it. This is the worst decision of my life ever. But thank you for taking the time to listen to this. That's all I want to say.